welcome back to another video and welcome to another part of my must-have series. I'm so happy that you guys are really enjoying this series. I love filming these videos, and you guys know I try so much makeup. I really have been putting my heart and soul and my knowledge into these must-have videos. I really do narrow down all the products in that category to really figure out and really think about which items in that particular category are really worth your money. So as you guys can see by the title, today we are talking about concealer. Concealer, I feel like, is something that if you have the right one, your makeup is just going to look bomb. Like, even if your foundation is not looking great that day, girl, if you put on the right concealer, it's gonna just completely change that foundation look for you. I love concealer. Concealer is what really highlights the face for you, and it's just honestly one of my favorite steps in my makeup routine. I love applying concealer to my under eyes. I feel like it just makes you look so beautiful, so awake, so bright, and I really do love it. So just for reference, really quickly, I do prefer my concealer to be at least 1 to 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. So of course I'm gonna let you guys know what shades I am in each of these concealers, but if you're a little bit darker than me, or you're my skin tone but you prefer it to be exactly to your skin tone and not a little bit lighter, you can always go a shade up or a shade down if you are fairer than I am as well. Alright you guys, so of course I'm super excited to share with you guys all of my must-have favorite concealers. I have high-end and I have drugstore as well, so make sure that you guys get comfy. As always, before we jump in to today's video, please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, especially if you're enjoying this must-have series. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already, especially if, girl, in the future you definitely want to keep getting some bomb recommendations. And of course, as always, if you guys would like to see all of my must-have concealers, then just keep on watching. Alright you guys, let's jump into these concealers because I have so many to talk about. So you know what, I was gonna start with the high-end concealer, but girl, let's start with a drugstore concealer. Okay, this right here is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer. So I just want to make it clear, they do have a Conceal and Define concealer. This is the Infinite Conceal and Define. So if you guys pick up this concealer, be sure that you get the correct one, because the other one I do not like at all, girl, but I love this one. This has beautiful coverage. I love the doe foot applicator. It has a humongous doe foot applicator, you guys. It is so amazing. The coverage, like I said, is insane, and I use mine in the shade C6. I feel like this gives me kind of like a smoothing effect under my eye as well, and overall I just really love the formula. It's not too thick and it's not too thin, but it does have the perfect amount of pigment in there to where it's really going to cover any darkness or any discoloration or anything like that that you have under the eye. So I really do love this, and it is drugstore, so it's also super affordable. The next one that I want to talk about is also a full coverage concealer. By the way, most of these, actually all of these, are full coverage except 2 of them, because you guys already know when it comes to concealer, do not give me no light coverage, even though I do have a light coverage in here, but I will tell you why when I explain why I love it. But most of the time I love me a full coverage concealer. Like, I need my under eyes to look snatched, covered, highlighted, no darkness peeking through. So these are definitely must-have. This next one is from Huda Beauty, and this is the Overachiever Concealer. This is what it looks like right here. I actually also featured this concealer in my Sephora recommendations video, and you guys, this concealer is so amazing. Not only is the coverage amazing and the formula bomb, this one right here is one of the only concealers, if not the only concealer in my collection that I have that actually has a metal tip to it. So in the morning, if you like to do your makeup in the morning or throughout the day, whatever it is, this is going to give you that really nice cooling sensation under the eye. It is such a spa moment while you're applying your concealer. I really do love it, and I love the fact that it's so hygienic. Like, for me, because it has that metal tip, I'm able to take a little bit of alcohol, spray it on a paper towel, and wipe down the metal tip, because the tip does get gunky a little bit, because there's like a little, I will show you guys close-ups, but there's like a little hole right in the center of the metal tip where the concealer actually comes out as you press on the tube itself. And I personally don't mind it, because like I said, I'll just take some alcohol on a paper towel and just wipe it before I actually close the cap. But you guys, this concealer is so freaking beautiful. I love it. If you guys enjoy full coverage, this one is amazing. The formula on this one is a little bit more on the thicker side, so a little bit of this goes a super long way. Considering how tiny the tube is, you definitely do get a lot of product in here, and like I said, a little bit of this goes such a long way. So definitely recommend it. And in this one, I am in the shade Nougat. The next concealer I want to talk about is from the drugstore. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. This is also an amazing concealer, you guys. This is full coverage. It looks really beautiful on the skin. You need a very little. A little bit of this goes such a long way, and the blendability is amazing. I feel like I'm saying the same thing about every single concealer, but honestly, you guys, these are all freaking amazing. I love them. The only main difference is basically the price points and the consistency. So this one is one of those looser consistencies. It also has a doe foot applicator, which I love. And in this one, I do use the shade Cashmere, which is the perfect shade for me. Nice and brightening, but not over brightening, if that makes sense. So I love that one as well. All right, you guys, the next concealer that I want to talk about, I feel like is going to be no surprise. I don't know how many people I have gotten to purchase this concealer. I freaking love it. I still feel like if I had to use one concealer for the rest of my life, I would choose this one. It's also the concealer that I'm wearing today. This is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. You guys, this concealer is unlike anything I've ever tried. I will say it's a thicker consistency. I feel like that's why people get scared. It is very thick. It almost reminds me, if you guys have ever tried the Tarte Maracuja concealer, it's like that consistency, but it's so blendable. It is so beautiful, so full of pigment. You guys, it is amazing. Like I said, it's what I'm wearing on my under eyes today. You guys see me use this on my channel all the time because it is so good, and I use mine in the shade Cream Cafe. It is the perfect amount of brightness for me, the perfect shade for me, the perfect undertone, just the perfect everything, you guys. It is so freaking bomb. If you guys have not tried it, definitely try it. I do get mine at Sephora. You can also get it on their website, and it's just amazing. I'm not going to speak too much on it because I feel like I use it all the time, and I'm always like, oh my god, I love this concealer. It's amazing. You need to try it. But girl, you really need to try it. Next up, I have the Kylie Skin Concealer. This is what her concealer looks like right here. This is the concealer that I was talking about when I mentioned that I had a concealer that was more of a natural concealer. So this one here is very skin-like. If you like something that's not too heavy, you want a concealer that you can wear on the daily and not have to wear foundation with it, this is going to be the one for you. It is really beautiful on the skin, and to be honest, even though it's a more skin-like concealer, it really does have nice coverage to it. I also love the doe foot applicator. It's really nice. It's a very thin consistency, so if you even have very dry under eyes, I think this one would look really beautiful on you. It's very thin. It's almost like a serum consistency in my opinion, and it really is beautiful. It also wears nicely throughout the day. It does not break down. It does not crack up. It does not crease. It's really beautiful. And this one, I do use mine in the shade Ivory. It's the perfect shade for me. The next concealer I have here is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. So this for me is like my everyday concealer. You guys don't see me use this that much on my channel because most of the time when I do like a full coverage look, I want a full coverage concealer. For me, this is like medium coverage. I know, don't hate me. I feel like a lot of people would disagree and say this is full coverage, but for me personally, I feel like this is more medium coverage. I feel like it's beautiful. It really does look nice on the skin, and I'm only mentioning this one because of the price point. For the price, you guys, you cannot beat it. It is so beautiful on the skin, and I will say the only thing that's bad about this concealer in my opinion is obviously e.l.f. is a drugstore brand, which means that not many places have testers, especially now with COVID going on. There's no testers at all. So I feel like it was really hard for me to find a shade in this. So I had gotten medium peach, then I had gotten warm peach, and I actually ended up with light beige. So light beige is actually the perfect shade for me. It looks really beautiful on my skin, and it's not over brightening, and it matches really well. So I've been liking this one a lot. The next one that I have here is actually newer to my collection, and I am obsessed. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. So this is definitely an OG concealer. I feel like everyone has tried this at this point except me, of course. You guys already know, but if you don't know and you are actually new to my channel, I did not actually have much MAC products in my collection because there's so many brands nowadays. I feel like MAC is not as popular as it used to be. But wow, I was really missing out. They truly do have gems in their product line, and this is definitely one of them. Such a beautiful concealer. The only thing is I don't like the packaging on this concealer. You do have to pump it out, so if you end up pumping out way too much, there's no way to savor that product because you're not going to pack on 50 pounds of concealer, you know? So it definitely does waste product, so I feel like they definitely should change the packaging. And it's also a glass bottle, so if this little thing drops, you're done. Like, your concealer's done. And this one I use the shade NC25. I love it. I have been using it so often. I've also featured this concealer in a few of my makeup tutorials. It is just amazing. The last drugstore concealer that I have here is from BH Cosmetics. I feel like this one is so underrated and I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. This is the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer. This is what it looks like right here. You guys, this reminds me so much of the Huda Beauty concealer. It does have the same applicator as the Huda Beauty one. The only thing is that this one is not metal. It's just like a plastic tip. But it's so similar, you guys. Like, this is definitely a drugstore dupe for the Huda one, and I love them both equally. I think they're both amazing. I just feel like the Huda one lasts a little bit longer throughout the day. I feel like this one doesn't last as long, but it's also truly amazing. And like I said, this is a drugstore brand, so it's also affordable. And in this concealer, I am in the shade, or actually it's a number. I'm number 104 in the BH concealer. Next up, I have a OG concealer. This is an oldie but goodie. I definitely need to start using this concealer again because I used to be obsessed with this. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So I feel like this concealer still gets so much hype, you guys. This concealer is actually an Ulta exclusive, so you can only get it at Ulta stores, okay? Sephora ain't got nothing on us because you can only get this at Ulta. So yeah, this is an amazing concealer. It's worth all the hype that is behind it. If you guys have not tried it, you definitely need to try it, especially because now you can actually get them in little tiny travel sizes. I think the travel size is about $10, so if you didn't want to spend the money on the full size, try the travel size, girl. You will not be disappointed. It is full coverage. The shade range is amazing. It lasts all day, and it's just beautiful on the skin, you guys. So Shape Tape is amazing. During the summertime, I use the shade light medium. During the colder months or when I want to be a little bit brighter, I do go in with the shade light neutral, which is beautiful. Alright, you guys, we have 3 more concealers to talk about and then we are done. So the next one that I have here is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer. This is what it looks like right here, and actually I do not use this concealer under my eyes. I actually prefer not to use it under my eyes. I actually do not like it under my eyes as an under eye concealer, but I love this product for days like today where I'm wearing a really simple makeup look. This is what I have on my eyelids today. So I do carve out my brows with the NARS Soft Matte Concealer, which is my favorite to carve out my brows. Then I use this all over my lid just to cancel out any kind of discoloration, any veins, just make everything look nice and smooth, which, like I said, it's what I'm wearing on my eyelids right now. And then I do just set it with a little bit of translucent powder and I am good to go. This does not crease. It does not look cakey. It does not look flaky on my eyelids. I love it. So if you like this more like natural look where it looks like you're wearing like a nude color eyeshadow but you're really not, girl, get you some Born This Way concealer. It's going to last you a lifetime because it's humongous and your eyelids will look really beautiful and awake and bright. So I love that concealer for that. The next concealer I want to talk about is also pretty new to my collection. This is the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. I feel like I don't see a lot of people talk about this one either. It is so good, you guys. If you have tried their Vanish Stick Foundation, then you guys already know the coverage on that is insane. Girl, the concealer is identical. The concealer is the concealer version of the foundation. It is amazing. Do not sleep on the coverage of this. A little bit goes such a long way. The only thing I will say about this concealer is the fact that they run very warm. So that's the only thing. So definitely go into store. That way you guys can actually see what the colors look like, because trying to choose a shade for this specific concealer online is a disaster. It's horrible. But like I said, I really do love this, and a little bit of this goes such a long way. It's amazing. Okay guys, so the last concealer that I have to share with you is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Anti-Crease Invisible Concealer. This is what it looks like right here. I feel like this is another concealer that a lot of people do not speak about. It is beautiful. This is also another like more skin-like concealer. However, even though it's a thinner consistency, the coverage is insane. It is so beautiful and I really do love it. When I want that super bright under eye look, I go for this one. I have this one in the shade Y31, and like I said, It's amazing. It's so, so good. If you guys like makeup forever and you have not tried this, definitely try this concealer because it is so bomb. So that is basically it. That basically wraps up all of my must-have concealers. Of course, I have a ton of concealers in my collection, but I really did try to narrow it down as much as possible, and these are truly ones that I would highly recommend and really put my name on and tell you that you are going to love it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and really did find it useful and helpful. Like I said, I really am enjoying doing this must-have series for you guys. Down below in the comments, don't forget to leave me your suggestions on what must-have product you'd want to see next. So far we've done foundation, now concealer. We've also done colorful eyeshadow palettes. So we still have blush. We can also do cream bronzer, highlighter, which I'm really excited to do highlighter. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know which one you guys want to see next down below, and I might be choosing what you want to see. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!